Okay, welcome to Sundays with Cinnamon. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone.
I let in a fly, so if that buzzes on by, you might say hello to that fly too. So I walked in today and I had a plan on what we were going to speak about. We're very impromptu here. And Sin has a splitting headache, pounding, and she would like to talk about pain. So tell us, please, what's going on?
We can talk about whatever else you want
Yes.
to talk about as well in the time frame. Pain is so rampant in our society, what with the stress people create with their schedules, with the pollution, with the menacing violence around us, that you can't hardly talk to anyone who isn't experiencing depression or chronic headaches or whatever it is. In my case, it's a lot of things. And the reason I wanted to talk about pain today is because you called me and wanted to know, can we schedule this Sundays with Cinnamon? And
About 20 minutes ago.
yeah, and I paused and listened because the mind would say, oh, got a piercing headache, sorry, do it another day. And I, because I'm out of my mind, was listening to the spirit of what best serves. Now, that's not altruistic, what best serves you. It's what best serves me. If I'm giving of myself, regardless what's going on within or without, I win. I receive. And I knew that I could lessen and lighten the extent of this headache if I did do this session.
Wow.
And so it is wow.
It's a wow.
It is wow. And the way we define wow is without worry. You know, I don't worry that, oh, if I talk, it'll get worse, or what if people see me looking like I have a headache? And those things are just ego-based, and as I get older, I have less and less ego in those areas. So, yeah, I just want people to know that you have pain. It doesn't have you. So if you have it, hold it loosely. Because if it's unavoidable, as is my back pain and my structural damage and all of that, then just hold it loosely, because it's a part of the life contract that I created with the Holy Spirit to be a messenger of power.
Yes.
And there's power in service like none other. I can be teaching a class, I can be in extraordinary pain, and I could teach a class and, oh, that's right, I have a lot of pain occurs after I'm done, because if there's a euphoria, what they call endorphins that are released in that giving process that are inexplicable. It's the miracle of loving.
It is.
It totally is the miracle of loving. And you can't fake that. And that's what I love about it. No one in the room has to know what you're going through. And the service is just as great as if you had their attention on your woes, your predicament. A lot of people call pain a predicament. I just see it as a prenuptial with the Holy Spirit.
One of the beautiful things in watching you and seeing so many times that you don't seem to be in pain, although I know you are. And when I have anything, whether it be a cold or when I was diagnosed with cancer for my 4th time and deciding on whether to remove my eye or not, it was just wonderful to know you and know that it doesn't have me by your example. And that's just been such a gift for me, and I thank you so much. And if we can give that gift to anyone that is watching, you right now, that you are in pain right now, and look, you're doing this regardless.
And you thank me, I thank you. It reminds me of what's his name, Steve Martin. No, thank you. No, thank you. I do thank you though for hearing it, because you hear it and then you become the messenger, and that's the domino effect that we want to create in the world of loving. And so I really thank anyone who's willing to listen. I did a session right here yesterday with a young man, 17 years old, who was so willing to listen. He was in pain because of the way he'd been programmed to react to life.
Yes.
And it was just extraordinary to watch him be willing to absorb the message and realize that you can lighten the load. It's critical, not serious, I like to say. And I had somebody come up to me after class once, and she had been just in her misery in class. And before the class was over, as you well know, Kathleen, we were all laughing. And she said to me, the one thing that keeps me coming here is that no matter how dismal I see things, I end up laughing about it in the end. And that's a gift she gives herself too, to be willing to release her grip on the misery, to relax into what is, so that she can lighten the load for herself.
To not take life so seriously.
Right.
And that's been one of my things.
Yeah, and
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you something else. I have a message which I'll play for you after we're done here, Kathleen. Because being a student teacher, I want you to hear these things. I want you to be inspired by, even when you don't see a physical reaction to what you're doing and who you're being, it can be occurring while. And that teaches you not to need a response, a reaction,
a comment or a like, anybody?
Yeah, and right, exactly. And I got this message from a woman that you would never dream, because she is not often demonstrative physically, and yet internally she's reacting, because she left a beautiful message for me about her experience of living love. And this woman's put herself through it with suicide attempts and all of that. And since living love, she has a lifeline. A lifeline.
It's
I'm
true.
not exaggerating.
I know, it's been my lifeline.
Oh, and to hear that is so inspirational. It's like, oh, yeah, I hear that. Because I've been in that position, and nothing fills me with more joy than to know that paying it forward is the only way to really be fulfilled.
Yes.
In whatever way you choose to pay it forward. I mean, it doesn't have to be my way. It just has to be
so many different ways
with
to
a
do
giving
that.
heart. Yeah. To gratitude. It's all about gratitude. When you're grateful, you want to share the wealth. Just like today, when my friend brought over a big basket of food that I wouldn't manage all by myself, I'm going to share that. So her giving has more tentacles than even she was planning. So it's a beautiful thing.
It's a very beautiful thing.
And I will tell you, I don't know if you can see it in my eyes, because I feel headaches in my eyes a lot. It's lighter now. It's not as intense. I used the word piercing when you came in, and it's definitely not piercing right now.
Well, with that said, why don't we stop this one and do next week's too then?
Okay.
Okay, bye all.
Sure.
Happy
Bye,
Sunday.
Yeah.
Thanks, and